Can somebody please tell me what I just watched? So I just watched the Hurricanes beat the Cal Bears. Man, that game was crazy. My head is still spinning. I'm not gonna lie to you, and it's super late. It's 2:30 in the morning because the game was in Cal, and I live in Wichita, so Wichita, Kansas. So the game was super late. I usually don't stay up for those West Coast games, but man, this is just gonna be a rapid reaction. I'm just telling y'all exactly what I'm thinking, what I was thinking during the game. What I plan on doing is doing some quick stats, going over the score, and then I just took some notes right before this. So I am gonna be a little bit all over the place. Just gonna be honest with you up front. Um, and then my voice is a little crazy right now because I was screaming at the TV with this game, man. So I'm tired. My voice is gone. I'm super hyped because the Hurricanes pulled it out. I'm a little concerned about the future because I don't know what this team is going to. Anyway, let's go ahead and jump right into it. So, Hurricanes ended up winning 39-38 in one of the craziest games I've ever seen. So, the great thing about it is the Hurricanes are 6-0. I do think they'll end up going to like number 5 or number 6 overall after this game. Um, and then, like, a really positive thing here that I think people might be overlooking is that we won an ACC game. Like we've got to keep piling up these ACC wins because winning the conference automatically puts you into the tournament, right? So Cam Ward ended up throwing for 437 yards, 2 touchdowns, and an interception. Mark Fletcher ended up leading in rushing with 11 carries and 81 yards, and then Restrepo had 7 receptions and 163 yards. So let's go ahead and move past the yards and let's just talk about some key plays and some things that I noticed throughout the game. Before we do that, make sure I introduce myself. My name is Jordan Harris, your favorite host in the entire world. Once again, it is 2:30 in the morning. I've got a newborn up there who's probably going to wake me up at 4 or so, but you know what it is. And this is Sports Truth. So the first thing we'll talk about is the first half. And I just want to go over the first half real quick because I got so many plays that I want to talk about when it comes to the second half. So first half, the things that I want to talk about is it looked like Dimples had the game plan of running the ball more. He wanted to show that we can actually run the ball. I've been concerned about that all year. It looked like when we run the ball, especially in the first half, we never get any kind of push up front. And then I've always been concerned about Damien Martinez's style of run because it's more like a Le'Veon Bell style where he gets the ball and then he stands behind and dance, and then he picks a hole. So that is just it hasn't been working. And then I see Mark Fletcher come in, and then he's just downhill. That's all he knows. And he typically comes in and gets like a 7, 8, 9, 10 yard run off the bat. And then I'm like, well, why did it take Damian Martinez 8 carries to get 10 yards? But anyway, I digress on that. It looked like Dimples came out, and I'm talking about offensive coordinator. I call him Dimples. But looked like he came out with the idea of he wanted to establish the run up front. He wanted to show that our offense could walk their defensive line all the way to the other end zone, right? That's what it looked like he wanted to do. And it seemed like we actually could. We ran the ball pretty effectively, and I could tell after our first possession, I was like, oh, yeah, we can run all over them whenever we want to. Um, but it caused us to hit so many snags. Like, the phrase that I would use about the Hurricanes in the first half was just off schedule. So typically, when you're a passing offense like we have been, you throw the ball on first down, and if it's incomplete, okay, 2nd and 10, you're going to throw it again. You might get a first down right then and there, and right move the sticks, and you're good to go to a fresh set of downs. But what we were doing this game, we would throw the ball on first down, and let's say it was incomplete, and we got 2nd and 10. Then they would try to run the ball, and then it would be like, okay, a gain of 4, which is fine, but then we're relying on third down it seemed like every possession we were relying on picking up third down, third down, third down. Because again, we were run the ball on first down, okay, gain of 4, gain of 5. Now it's 2nd and 5. Throw the ball incomplete. And it's like, okay, here's a third down. Everything depends on this third down. When usually, throw the ball, first down. Okay, cool. 1st and 10, throw the ball, incomplete. Second and 10, throw the ball, another first down. But now we're trying to implement. It seemed like we were really implementing a lot of run plays on second and tens and second and nine. It wasn't working for us. They just off schedule, and that's why I think we couldn't get as much traction in the first half as we all expected us to be able to get. So then the second half rolled around, and we got back into the type of offense that we've seen for the first 5 games. And sorry, my nose is a little stuffy, so I'm working through that right now. But second half, we were a lot more. Our offense looked more familiar to what I saw in the first 5 games. It was pass first. It was instead of using a run to set up the pass. Second half, we were like, no, we're gonna pass, pass, pass. And if you back up a little too much, we'll do a quick draw and get 6 yards or so with Fletcher, or 6 or 7 yards with Martinez. I think that's what we're gonna have to do going forward. We have to rely on the pass first, and then if people get a little too greedy and start putting in, one linebacker, four defensive linemen, then we can start attacking them with the run and make them double think some things. Okay, so the first thing I want to talk about in the second half was Cam Ward's pick six. I was like, what is going on? And my wife was looking like, yeah, this game's over. And I'm like, no, no, no. I just watched Alabama and Georgia last week, and Georgia put on this crazy comeback. So it's not over yet. I'm like, it's not over yet. So looking at that pick six, if you remember, I did a couple of videos earlier this week, and the things that I kept saying was, as long as Cam Ward takes what the defense gives him, we'll be just fine. That's all he's got to do. But it seems like he gets bored or something, and then he loses his discipline, and then he does things that makes people go, what the heck did you see there? Like, I looked at that pick six, I rewound it like probably 5 or 6 times. Because I was actually, like, literally trying to find out what he saw on that play. What was he looking for? The only thing I can think of is maybe he saw Arroyo behind one of the linebackers in the zone, and he thought if he just throws it over the top, Arroyo could beat him to it. And he didn't see the safety that was behind Arroyo. That's the only thing I could think of. But he threw it. He threw it all the way across the field, which we all know is an ultimate no-no. Then he threw it super high, and it was late. It was like 18 levels of bad quarterback play. And then after he caught the interception, I'm like, is somebody gonna tackle this fool? And surely he ran it all the way to the end zone. So I was going crazy on that play. Just thinking about it right now kind of pisses me off a little bit, to be honest with you. So Cam Ward's pick six. I don't know what he was looking at. Maybe y'all can tell me in the comment section what you think he was thinking or what he was seeing on that play, because I don't know. But we've got to get so Cam Ward. You got to take the good with the bad, right? He's really good at improvising. We always going crazy when he does like the last game where he ducked two defenders and then did a little shovel two-hand chest pass somebody. Like, that's the positives of that improvising. And this pick six is the negative part. But we've got to get Cam Ward to be more, I wouldn't say understanding, because who am I to tell this dude how to play quarterback, right? But he's got to just take what the defense is giving him. And that's what he did all second half. Look down the field. If all these receivers are covered, throw it to the check down. If the check down can't get it done for you, use your legs and pick up 6 or 7 yards and get down. Like, just take whatever the defense is giving you and move on to the next play. The craziest part of that pick six was that it was first down. It was like I think it was our first play of the second half. So I'm like, just throw the ball out of bounds, and we live to fight another day, baby. Like, let's just go ahead and second and 10 to see what happens. But next thing that I want to talk about is a third down that we got. It was the next possession. It was third down. I don't know how many yards. I think it was like 3rd and 6, maybe 3rd and 5, maybe. And we did a little semi-screen pass to Chris Johnson Jr. We had 2 blockers on the left side, and they had 3 defenders on that same side. So you make one person miss. As fast as he is, he probably gonna score. He could not make that one person miss, and that was extremely disappointing. If you're a if you're a running back, Division 1 running back, and you got a corner or a safety in open field, you have to make at least one person miss. Because I saw Xavier Restrepo blocking, and I can't. Maybe it was Horton blocking as well. They had both of them man just blocked, and he had one person to beat and couldn't do it. That was disappointing. So that play was crazy. So that brought up a 4th and 5 at the 43-yard line, our 43-yard line. So we're driving. 10:27. It was 10 minutes and 27 seconds in the third quarter. I'm screaming, "Go for it!" I think we were down 18 points at that time. Um, and I know we won the game, right? So you can't really fault the coaches for anything. And I am a big I'm a big Mario Cristobal fan, so I don't want to kill him on this. But I felt like we should have gone for that. 4th and 5. Cal had all the momentum. I really felt like our defense was eventually going to become a stalwart against them because Cal was not that good. So I'm like, look, it's 4th and 5. We're on the positive side of the 50-yard line. Let's go for it. If we don't, let's expect to get a 3-and-out from our defense and get the ball right back. That's what I'm thinking. And then I'm like, but because if you punt the ball away, it's just surrender mode, and I hated that. So again, this was in the third quarter, 10 minutes and 27 seconds. So go back and look at that situation and ask yourself, did you want to go for it in that moment or not? Let me know in the comment section if you want to. Okay, so the next play that I wrote down was a screen pass on 3rd and 15. So this almost made me stop watching the game only because I nearly threw my remote through the TV when this happened. So we punted the ball away. We have them backed up all the way against their end zone. It's 3rd and 15. If you remember the game against Virginia Tech, we had them backed up like 3rd and 17 or something crazy like that. And what happened? Do you remember what happened in that game? If you don't remember, Virginia Tech threw a screen pass and they took it like 70 yards or something crazy like that. So I'm like, here comes a screen pass. They're going to do a screen pass. The quarterback is not like that. He's not going to drop back against his end zone and throw on 3rd and 15. They're going to do a screen pass. And what did they do? They did a screen pass. And they ended up gaining like 50 or 60 yards on it. I was going crazy. One of the reasons why I was going crazy is because, for one, it ended up leading to 35-10 deficit. So that was one frustrating part. Also, I wanted to get the ball back so we could get some type of momentum because I did not believe the game was over. But more than anything, I was frustrated because I thought our defensive coordinator was doing too much. When you're a coach and you have the better team, a lot of times vanilla will win the game for you. You don't have to do a bunch of complicated stuff. And what the defensive coordinator kept doing is he kept showing blitz on all of these plays. And I'm like, stop doing that. Just play 4 defensive linemen across the board. Align your linebackers to whatever receiver they're supposed to be covering. Like, let's just play it straight up, straight vanilla, and we will win this game. But on that play, if you go look at it, they showed blitz. Kiko Mauigoa, who I think played the second worst game of the season. Virginia Tech was his worst, and I think this one was his second, not of his season, of his career at Miami. I think this is the second worst game at Miami. Kiko played. I know he got the game-winning interception. I think he played terribly. So on this 3rd and 15 play, instead of just aligning or stepping back and being man-to-man with the running back, he's got like both feet dug into the ground, like right over the center, like he's gonna go blitzing into the backfield. I'm like, why are we doing that? They've given up, I think, 13 sacks in the last 2 games, and we have an awesome pass rush. So just rush your 4 guys. They will get to him eventually. Rush your 4 guys and play coverage. But what did he do? He's got 4 down. He's got Kiko in there. He had, I think, one other linebacker. in there showing blitz. And then whenever the running back took off running to his left, Kiko was left. He was late getting over to the right to guard him, and he just got around the corner and was gone. So if we didn't keep showing blitz, trying to be cute, as I call it, that play wouldn't have happened because Kiko wouldn't have been up on the line and then have to back up and then say, okay, where is this running back going? Oh, there he is. Too late. He's around me. So we got a little too cute throughout the first half and the third quarter. Just play. When your team is better than their team, vanilla will win you the game. If you go back and look at a lot of stuff that Alabama was doing, they didn't do a bunch of cute stuff. They just lined up and they ran over you. You knew what they were doing most of the time. You just couldn't stop it because their players were better. So that frustrated me like crazy. Miami was trying to get too cute on a lot of plays. Just line up, run the play. Your players are better. They will win the play. So that play, oh man, I would say it drove me nuts, but it was more than that. So 2nd and 12 at the end of the third quarter, Cal had the ball and they brought in Rogers, the backup quarterback. So I was like, okay, who is this dude? I don't know anything about him. Who is this dude? So he comes in and he's a running threat. So he had just scored a touchdown on the last possession. So I'm like, okay, he's the guy they bring in like they used to bring in Tebow when Tebow first got to Florida. He's just going to either run it or he's going to act like he's going to run it and throw it. So 3rd and 12, right at the end of the third quarter, it was just a few seconds left in the third quarter. And what did they do? Rogers comes in, he fakes the run, and then he throws it to the running back out of the backfield and got an easy first down. So when that happened, I'm like, uh-oh, this defense is real off kilter right now. I don't know if they're going to be able to figure this out. I think they might be a little overwhelmed. And if I was Cal, I would put Rodgers in and just milk it. I would milk that play for the rest of the game because it was pretty obvious to me that Miami did not have an answer for that. Just have him get the ball, have Rodgers get the ball and either run it or fake the run and throw it to like a receiver or because we were biting on that kind of stuff all game. We bit on it in the first quarter. Their first touchdown, we bit on a fake screen and the tight end runs deep. Boom, there it is. So if I was Cal, I would have just ate off of that for the rest of the game. You're running the clock for one, and then you got 10 blockers now because your quarterback becomes a running back. And then instead of him just running it every time, you could fake the run and then throw it. Like it seemed like it was a no-brainer to me, but hey, I guess that's why I'm not getting paid millions of dollars coaching football. I don't know. Um, the next play I want to talk about is 3rd and 7. This was huge. I think this is probably going to be like, oh yeah, that did happen. So whenever the score became 35-10, the Hurricanes' probability of winning was probably something like 0.7%. I don't know, but it had to be tiny. So with that being said, when your percentage to win is only like 1, 2, 3%, or even lower than that, every single play, almost every single play has got to go your way. Almost every single play. And that's basically what happened in this game. So this play that I'm talking about is 3rd and 7. Cal had the ball. It was about 14 minutes left in the fourth quarter. The quarterback threw a quick out route. Not a quick out route, but he threw like it was like a 10-yard, I guess it was like a 10-yard outpost is what he threw. And the receiver turned a little late. And as soon as he turned, the ball was there, and he got two hands on it, but he just dropped it. He had the quarterback beat, and he just dropped it in the end zone. If that Cal receiver would have caught that, we would not have won. Game would have been over. The momentum would have swung like it would have been fully in their favor again. They would have extended their lead 7 more points. There's no way we would have caught them after that. So that was a major play. The quarterback did not make a wonderful play. The receiver just turned his head too slow, too late. Didn't see the ball coming. And by the time he did see it, he couldn't react quick enough. So that play was major. The next play I want to talk about, Riley Williams, 3rd and 1, and he did not get it. Okay, so let me say this. The entire time, now I like to be positive. I'm a positive guy. I'm not a pessimist. But the tight end room played a horrible game. Earlier I said Kiko played bad. I think all of the tight ends played horribly. They all get a solid red F, all of them. First part was Riley Williams on a 3rd and 1. So it was like what it looked like to me is that they gave Cam Ward three options. Either hand the ball off to Damien up the middle. I think Damien was in the game. Either hand it off to Damien, you run it along the outside, or you can just throw it over the top to a wide open Riley Williams. Unfortunately, he wasn't wide open. But the man caught it and turned super slow and started like doing this like real ginger type run. I don't know what he was doing. It looked kind of like my wife and I, we own some preschools, right? And when I go into some of those classrooms, some of those classrooms have 20 kids in it. So when I go into some of those classrooms, those kids be acting kind of crazy. Hey, Jordan. And I'm like trying to make sure I don't step on the kids' toes. And I'm like doing this weird walk, trying not to make sure I don't hurt anybody. That's what Riley Williams looked like he was doing when he caught the ball. Like he caught it and turned super slow. And then he was running like he was trying not to hurt the grass. Like he was like doing a tiptoe thing and just got stood up. I'm like, are you serious? That was frustrating like crazy. I could not believe he did not get that first down. So that was, I guess I'll say, the first offense of the tight end rules. But there was a 4th and 1 earlier in the game that the tight end ended up catching. I think it was Arroyo. Maybe it was Arroyo. I don't know who. I don't remember who it was. But it was a tight end. Caught the ball, and I would just say the defender made a good play on it, hit his legs, and the tight end just went straight down. Didn't get the first down. So I think that was on a 4th down in the second quarter, maybe if I remember correctly. But this Riley Williams play, this is the first offense as far as like the tight ends just playing horrendously today. I still don't know how he didn't get that first down. So then 4th and 1, because we didn't get it on 3rd down, right? Riley Williams didn't get on the 3rd down and 1. So now it's 4th and 1. So then we're going to do a run to the right. But what do we do first? We bring a tight end, Arroyo, from the left of the line, bring him in motion, and then he's supposed to be a lead block on the end. He's supposed to just make sure that a defensive end, comes around the corner and blows the play up. But what does he do? He turns the corner like Canada League football or whatever that stuff is. I don't know. Maybe it's EuroLeague football where they like start 15 yards back and they just like turn the corner and take off running real fast. That's what he did. Illegal motion, move us back even further. That was the second offense for the tight ends. I was going, I'm telling you, going crazy. Like, what are they doing? So then, 4th and 6. People think that I'm crazy when I compare Xavier Restrepo to like Andre Johnson and Sean Taylor, stuff like that. I'm not comparing him as far as like his talent. I'm comparing him like my favorite players. Xavier Restrepo is like one of my top 10 favorite Hurricanes of all time. I'm not saying he's top 10 best or top 10 greatest. He is my top 10 favorite Hurricane of all time. Probably top 5, actually. But the reason why is because he's undersized. He's not real big. He's not real fast. He's not real strong. But you can always depend on this dude to get open. Always. And if you need a 4th and 2, he's going to catch the ball even if he's laying on his back. We've seen that. If it's 4th and 6, the one player that I'm like, throw him the ball, it's Xavier Restrepo every time. I know they're throwing it to him. They know he's throwing it. They know that we're throwing it to. Everybody knows that the ball's going to number 7, and he still completes it. The beautiful thing about it is he's not a real big dude, but you see like a tight end catch the ball and they turn like all gingerly and scared. But if you watch this 4th and 6, you see Xavier Restrepo catch, and the very first thing he does is start to lean towards the first down. He didn't catch it and turn to see who's coming or what's coming and, shrug his shoulders and do all that, brace for impact. He caught it, and before he even knew what was on the other side, what was behind him, he caught it and just started leaning towards the first down. And then he looked. He's like, I don't know what's going on back there, but I know I probably need to get about 2 more yards. So I'm just going to lean and get that. And whatever hits me, hits me. I love his heart. Love the dude. Um, so he ended up getting the first down. The next play I want to talk about is the 3rd-and-goal touchdown throw to Isaiah Horton from the 20. Isaiah Horton is a player that I was kind of down on last year. He looked kind of slow to me. I don't know. I just wasn't a big fan of Isaiah Horton. And some of y'all laughed at my comment that I said after the spring game because I was like, I think that number change helped a whole lot. It makes him look faster. Like going from, I think it was like number 16 or it was some ugly number he had. And I'm like, going from that number to number 2 just makes him look better on the field. And maybe it's making him play better too because he's been a revelation this year. He's playing really, like, way better than I expected. So the catch was good, but that throw was on a rope. Like he threw a laser on that. He caught it. He got the Cam Ward got the snap from the center. Took maybe one play. He took like maybe one step back, planted his foot, and phew, threw it. Threw a rope to him. Third and goal from the like almost 20-yard line. And the commentators didn't have much to say there just because it kind of looked like maybe Hurricanes still had too much work to do. So they were just like, oh, yeah, touchdown. Now the game doesn't look as ugly as it did before. Let's just go ahead and run the clock out and Cal wins. I think that's what the commentators were thinking. So they didn't have much to say about that throw. But when I saw it, I was like, dang, that was a good throw. Like, that was a really impressive throw. So, okay, so that's play. Let's talk about the next one. 3rd-and-15 with 9 minutes and 22 seconds left. This is when the Hurricanes desperately needed to get the ball because I think we were still down like 13 points. And then we had a 3-and-out, or so we thought, but then there was a face mask. I think it was Barron. I think it was Tyler. I think it was Barron who got the face mask. That was tough. That was one of those back-breaking plays. The 3rd-and-15 that we gave up, that felt like a back-breaker. I was like, oh, man. This one hurt, too. I was like, that's pretty tough. It looked like first we scored a touchdown, so we started to build momentum. Then we get a 3-and-out, so that's even more momentum. I'm like, oh, yeah, we rolling. Then a flag comes rolling in. And I'm like, if Cal ends up going down and scoring some lucky touchdown, or if they get 2 first downs and run more clock off, game's over, we lose. So, thankfully, they didn't do anything else after they got that automatic first down from the face mask. But what they did get was 2 more minutes that got melted off the clock. So that was pretty scary. So the next play I want to talk about is, and then was it a face mask? Yeah, it was a clear face mask. I saw some people saying that they didn't think it was a face mask. Yeah, you got to call that. They're like, oh, you can't call that during that. Like, yeah, you do have to call that. It was a clear face mask. All right, the next play I want to talk about, 4th-and-11. So they ended up doing the 3-and-out, but we got a face mask. So they got 3 more plays. I think they ran 3 more plays. Maybe they got a first and then ran 3 after that. So whatever it may have been. They ended up putting it back to us. And then we ran 3 plays. 4th down comes up. It's 4th-and-11. Who do we go to? We go to Xavier Restrepo again. And once again, he gets the first down. Like, the dude is just so dependable. That's why I think he should. Every punt return, put him back there. I know we love the other guys, but put Xavier Restrepo back there. Not so much because you think he's going to break a long one, but because you know if he's supposed to fair catch it, he's going to. If he's supposed to catch it, he's going to. He's not going to do any kind of crazy muff punt. He's not going to fair catch it on the 3-yard line. Like, you can trust that he's going to do what he's supposed to do. He's just solid. So, 4th-and-11, go to X again, got the first down. So now, around this time, we starting to get to the nitty-gritty here. It's starting to get pretty crazy. So, let's see. So, The next one I'll talk about is when Cal got the ball for the last time. Not the last time, it was the second to last time. So we were down 6. Hurricanes down 6, and there's a targeting call on Wesley Bassett. Oh my gosh. That play, I just knew. So if you remember, they didn't even call a flag on the field. They didn't call a flag on the field. But when I saw the play, I was like, oh man, that's targeting. They're going to give him a first down. When I saw the play and didn't see a flag, I'm like, they're going to call that. They're going to review it. And then I was like, maybe they can't review it. Maybe that's why they haven't done it yet. And then when I heard the commentators say, oh yeah, they're going to review this, I was like, oh, they're going to give him a first down and the game is over. That was the first time that I actually thought that the Hurricanes were going to lose. Even though we were down 25 points, I still felt like they were going to come back and win. But that Bassett play, that was the first time I was like, oh man, we lost. Because I just knew they were going to call the flag. Bassett was going to be thrown out the game, and he's going to miss part of the next game. I'm like, oh man, the game's over. We lose. And when they said that the play stands, I was like, oh yeah, Cal, y'all just lost. Like, I knew it. I was like, Cal lost. The game's over. We're going to win this one. Knew it. What's the next play I want to talk about? Got to talk about the long catch that X had. 1 minute and 42 seconds left. Oh, before I do that, I want to say this. So some of y'all have heard me talk about people playing on Heisman mode. So I used to play NCAA football a whole lot. And now I play college football game that just came out. I played on my PlayStation 5. So, and my PlayStation Portal. Y'all should get one of those if you play the game. So, if you play on Heisman mode, computer is almost impossible to beat. And that is what Cal looked like in this first half. Like the first 3 quarters, they looked like they was playing on Heisman mode. They were like playing out of their heads. I'm like, y'all are not that good. I've watched you play. You scored 3 points against Florida State. Y'all were not calling these kind of plays that you calling now. First, the players were playing well, but then the coordinator was dialing up stuff. I'm like, where they wouldn't do anything like this against Florida State. Like, fake handoff here, reverse that direction, and fake this pass and go long. Like, they were doing all kind of stuff they weren't doing against Florida State and them other schools. So, Cal was on Heisman mode. They were playing out of their minds. They're not that good, but they were playing that well. And I kept saying, the reason why I didn't turn the game off, I was like, once Cal comes down to earth, because they're not this good, once they come down to earth and Miami starts to play Miami football, we can outscore them by about 28 points in 1 quarter. I knew it. Now, did I think that it was going to happen? Wasn't positive, but I knew that we had the capability of outscoring them by at least 28 points in 1 quarter if both teams play to their typical level, right? So let's talk about the X long catch. It was 1 minute and 42 seconds left. When Cam was a little concerning to me this game. Like, I didn't know what he was doing. I didn't know what he was going to do. I didn't know if he was going to throw a touchdown or if he was going to throw a pick six. I didn't know if he was throwing to a wide open receiver or if he was going to hit a linebacker dead in the chest across the middle. I didn't know what he was going to do. He just seemed like he was all over the place. So when I saw Cam Ward drop back and throw the ball real high across the middle, I was like, oh no. Mainly because I wasn't watching the all 22 camera angle. I could just see the usual college football angle that they show, where it's like the quarterback, the defensive line, the offensive line, and then you just see the ball in the air and you don't know where it's going. So when I saw it go real high across the middle, my first thought was, oh, he threw an interception. And then when the camera panned, I'm like, oh, X is wide open. So he catches it and runs down the field. Now, one thing that we got to realize, or one thing that most of us know about X is that he is exceptionally quick, but he's not fast. It's the difference. Exceptionally quick. One of the quickest dudes you'll see on a football field. And his footwork is amazing. But he is not fast. If George would have caught that ball, he would have scored a touchdown. If Brown would have caught that ball, it would have been a touchdown. But Restrepo don't got the wheels like that. So he ended up getting caught, which I think actually benefited us. He ended up getting caught at like the 10-yard line or something like that. I don't know, something like that. And I'm thinking, first half, first possession, we showed that we can run all over these fools. Just run the ball right up the gut. Our offensive line will walk them back into the end zone. We'll score a touchdown in 2 or 3 plays. There will be no time left. Game's over. So that's what I'm saying. Run the ball, run the ball, run the ball. I think it was a minute left, and we were on like this 8-yard line, something like that. So I'm like, run it the first time. The clock will tick all the way down to about 30 seconds. Run it again. The clock will tick all the way down to about, let's say 25 seconds. Then you can start, then you can use a timeout. And then like, okay, we got to throw the ball into the end zone after that. So that's what I was expecting, and that's what I was hoping. And then the Isaiah Horton penalty comes. That's the next thing I want to talk about. So Jacoby George drives me crazy because he's just kind of a hothead. Like, he is an exceptional football player, but he is a hothead. And I think he got a 15-yard penalty this game in the first half, if I remember correctly. So he's the guy that I always expect to get these type of penalties. I never expected Isaiah Horton to get one of those. And I was like, oh my gosh. I was kind of shocked, to be honest, that they called it. And they showed the replay, and he did kick a man. Like, you can't do that, right? You got to call that flag. Got to keep your composure. I know a lot of folks be killing Mario about just coaching and having people, just teaching discipline and holding people accountable and that kind of thing. But it's hard for me to blame Mario Cristobal for a player doing something that stupid. Like, you think that Mario told him, like, hey, when you get mad, you should kick people. Like, come on, man. Like, so Mario Cristobal is not, he's obviously coaching against that kind of thing. But these players get in the heat of the moment, and I guess they can't help themselves, and they do stupid stuff like that, and it really does hurt the team. So they end up 3rd and 20, first down, Martinez. That play was crazy. When I first watched the play, I was thinking, Cal is just unraveled. They have unraveled, and they're not playing their typical style of offense or defense. So I'm like, how could you give up a 3rd and 20 to a running back out of the backfield? It was bad. But if you watch the replay, and I realized this after seeing it a couple of times, 2 or 3 more times, Cam Ward had just scored running the ball up the middle for like 20 yards. So they were concerned about him running. So if you watch that replay, you'll see Cam Ward actually ran towards the line of scrimmage and sucked those 2 defenders towards him. And as soon as he did that, he threw it sideways to Martinez. So whenever those 2 linebackers came running towards Ward, it took those guys off of Martinez, and that's how he was able to run down the sideline so quickly. So that was a heads-up play by Ward to be able to draw those players towards him like that, because if he did not run towards the line of scrimmage, those guys wouldn't have bit like they did, and it wouldn't have allowed Martinez to be so wide open like he was and run for 20-something yards down the sideline. That was a big letdown for Cal, though. That would be heartbreaking if you're a Cal fan. Like, how do you give up a 3rd and 20? First, it was 3rd and goal from like the 18. They scored a touchdown. Then 3rd and 20 to win the game, basically. You give that up to a running back, a check down throw, 3rd and 20? Yikes. Okay. The next thing is Arroyo touchdown. This was the 3rd. Count of 1, 2, 3. This is the 3rd offense that the tight ends caused in this game. If you watch that play, Arroyo made that touchdown like a 10 out of 10 difficulty when it should have been more like a 2 out of 10 difficulty. He caught it. He turned real slow. He misread one block. So instead of going this direction, he went that direction, which allowed one of the defenders to grab him. I'm like, get in the end zone, man. So, and he barely reached out and scored a touchdown. Just go back and look at that play, please. If he would have done what I'm saying Xavier Restrepo did, which is catch the ball first, lean second, and then look to see where you're going, it's an easy touchdown. But he catches it, turns gingerly like he's expecting, like he's bracing for impact. And then he's like, oh, nobody is in front of me. And then he started doing like tap dancing in the same, like, you know how like Wile E. Coyote used to run and like they would like run in place for a long time and then they would go. Like that's what he was doing. Like Fred Flintstone, like run in place and then move forward. So I think that they just played a horrible game. The tight ends, all of them. There's the young tight end caught one really good pass in the third quarter, so I can't kill him. But the other three, bad football. Bad football. Okay, let's talk about the next play, which I think was the best play of the game. It was something that I didn't think we could do, to be honest with you. We lined Cam Ward up with just a few seconds left. He got the snap, and he put one of his knees on the grass. We took a knee, baby. Took a knee and won the game. I was not sure if we could do that, but we did it this time, and we ended up winning. It was a wonderful thing. Not only was it a wonderful thing, it was a beautiful thing to see that. Line up in that victory formation, finish these fools off. That whole crowd would look like they wanted to cry or jump off the building. Like they all looked like they were just in a bad spot, and I loved it. I know this is weird because I'm a weird guy in certain ways, but I've always disliked people throwing down other people's signs. Like we do the U, right? When people throw the U down, I think that is the lamest thing ever. When people throw like the Texas horns down, I think that is the lamest thing ever. Throw your sign up. Don't hate on what everybody else got going on. I think that is lame. So when I saw them doing that the whole game in the crowd, it just drives me crazy. I hate it. So it was a beautiful thing to see those fans throwing the U down, and then the next time you see those same fans, they look like they want to cry, or they look like they want to jump off the building. I loved it. So those are the plays I wanted to talk about. Now I'm going to talk about some players real quick. This is going to be quick. So Kiko Mauigoa, I think he played a horrible game. He gets a D because he did intercepted at the end. So I'm gonna give him a D. I will give him an F if he didn't do that, but he gets a solid D for me. Simeon Barrow played great. He was disruptive the whole game. He was active the whole game. He played really well. Hurricane Bane, I think that he didn't give us what we need from him. I think he came up way short. Third quarter, he missed a sack that ended up going for like a 25-yard gain. I think he actually recorded a tackle on the very first play of the game. I think. Yeah, I think he recorded a tackle. So he looked like he was pretty effective, but he just didn't get home enough. He did get a sack, but he didn't get home enough. It looked like he kind of gained more weight to me. He looked big today. But anyway, Hurricane Bane, he just didn't give us enough. Defensive line, gotta get home, man. I keep saying this. You cannot keep doing these things where you're running at the quarterback and when they pump fake, you just jump and go crazy and then you totally miss them. You can't keep reach, and then miss them. Like, you gotta get home, bring these fools down. Tight end play was trash. I mentioned that all through this video. Arroyo's illegal motion. Riley Williams dropped touchdown. 2 missed opportunities on 4th and 3rd and short. And then McCormick missed a key assignment with 32 seconds left. McCormick missed a block at the end of the game on the edge. And I think it was number 2 ran around him, ended up tackling Martinez. That was McCormick's block. So, like, all of the tight ends played bad. All of them. Cam Ward, he was exceptional the second half, but the first half, it seemed like he just gets bored, which equals lack of discipline. He does stuff that makes us go, bro, what are you doing? Why are you doing that? If he just takes what the defense is giving him, we will have, like, when we play teams like Cal, instead of us being within a score or being in these nail-biting games against Cal and Virginia Tech, if he just takes what the defense is giving him, instead of us being in these tight games, we'll be up about 30-plus points in the second half. He just got to take what the defense gives him, and the offense can score every single time. Um, we talked about this with Virginia Tech. The Hurricanes have seen adversity, and they have answered the door both times now. The Hurricanes of last year, or the year before that, or the year before that, or the year before that, would not have won tonight, and they would not have won against Virginia Tech. They were laid down, and it would have been over. But these Hurricanes got a little bit of Kobe Bryant spirit in them, where they say, "No, I'm better than you actually, and I'm just going to take the game from you now. I'm just going to take it. I do have to play perfect for this whole fourth quarter, but I'm going to do that, and I'm going to win." They can do that, and they have done that. It's what I've seen Georgia do. It's what I've seen Alabama do over these last few years. I'm not saying we are as good or better than those schools, those teams, but it's pretty cool to see a Hurricanes team do that, where they can just take the heart from somebody whenever they want to. So that's all that I got for you today. Like I said, I was gonna be rambling a little bit today because my head is spinning. I'm hyped about winning it. I'm also tired. I'm sleepy. It's 3 a.m. Wichita, Kansas Central Time. So yeah, please do like the video, subscribe to the channel. I'll most likely have another video that I'll be putting up tomorrow. One that's a little more streamlined, I guess. I don't know. Um, but yeah, thanks for watching the video. I appreciate it. You could be anywhere in the world, but you're here with me, and I truly appreciate it. Take care. God bless. Peace.